Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you are well. It is Tuesday, the 1st of April, 2025. In 2021, Douglas Ross, the man who claims to stand up for Scotland while sitting in Westminster, announced that he was willing to pool his own candidates from Holyrood races to help Labour or the Lib Dems win. Not because he respects them, not because he agrees with their policies, because he was terrified that the independence movement might actually get smart. Terrified that pro-independence voters might stop wasting their second votes. Terrified that Alapa might take list seats. Terrified that Holyrood might become something more than a devolved talking shop. He called it a threat, said nothing was off the table, and he asked Anas Sarwar and Willie Rennie to sit down and carve up the map. They didn't even pretend it was about democracy. It was about stopping us by any means. So while we in the movement cry over who said what about who, rage over list vote theory, and tear strips off each other's due to party lines, they are coordinating and planning to take advantage of this. So are you still proud of that moral high ground? They don't care about political purity. They care about outcomes. And they know that if we ever stopped tearing each other apart and act with even a fraction of the ruthlessness that they do, we would take this country back. They begged Labour to work with them. They begged the Lib Dems to join in. Douglas Ross made it crystal clear stopping independence was the only priority. Everything else was secondary. They don't agree on social policy. They don't agree on Brexit. They don't even agree on who should be in number 10. But they agree on one thing. Scotland must stay in its box. That's the mindset they operate with. They don't care about headlines, egos, or short-term losses. They care about the union, so much so that they're willing to take a hit to their own party just to stop an independence supermajority. Meanwhile, what are we doing? Scoring points off each other, arguing about which pro-indie party is the real party, whipping up boycotts over the list candidates because someone didn't clap the right speech. They fight like a pack, and we act like rivals. And that's why we lose. What exactly then is a supermajority, and why did it scare them so much? It's not just a PR buzzword, it's a weapon, and they know it. A supermajority in the Scottish Parliament means 86 out of the 129 MSPs. That's 2/3 of the chamber. And under Section 3 of the Scotland Act 1998, it gives us the power to dissolve the Parliament and call what is called an extraordinary general election. Let's say that again slowly. If we have 86 pro-Scottish MSPs, we can dissolve Holyrood by a vote and then have another election. An extraordinary election. That means we can go back to the people, not to play games, not to waste time, but to make the extraordinary election a plebiscite, a national vote for independence, a clear mandate built on Scotland's right to choose. They wrote the rules. We can use them. And that is what they feared when Alapa entered the game. That is what they feared when pro-indie voters started to talk strategy. Not just that we would get more seats, but we would get more power. We balked. We fought. We told people it was cheating. We accused each other of gaming the system, and the unionist press didn't even have to get involved. We did their work for them. This is what a liberation movement looks like when it forgets it's fighting for liberation. There are people in our ranks who still think it's wrong to vote tactically, still think their party owns the second vote, still think that it's a noble cause to lose. Let's be blunt. If Douglas Ross was willing to throw away seats to stop independence, and you're not even willing to lend a list vote to someone else on your own side, then who's actually fighting for Scotland? Because it's not you. You think tactical voting is beneath you. You think choosing a pro-Indy list candidate that isn't from your own tribe is selling out. You're not a freedom fighter. You're a saboteur with a sticker on your laptop. We are running out of time. Another 5 years under Westminster, that's the price of another lost election, another split vote. Another wasted second ballot. 5 more years of decisions we didn't vote for, of energy stolen, of voices ignored, of stolen mandates and media lies, of watching our chance slip further and further away. And some of you think the real problem is the Greens or Alapa or independent candidates, and you haven't even bothered to research. Give me a break. You think you're taking the high ground, but you're just taking the bait. The system we used to elect Holyrood was designed to stop majorities. Labour built it in that way. We've mentioned this so many times before. That is why voting for the SNP on the list is often mathematically useless. They dominate the constituencies. So when you vote SNP again on the list in most regions, these votes are discarded. They are divided by the number of seats that have already been won in the constituencies plus 1. So if the SNP, like they have done in Glasgow, win 9 constituencies, their vote is divided on the list by 9 plus 1. It is not calculated by percentages, not at all. In the description of this video, you will find again the links to the Holyrood website that states clearly how the additional member system is calculated with the second vote. The fact that the SNP's list votes will be divided up by the number of seats they've already won in the constituencies plus 1 is not an opinion. It's a mathematical fact, and that is how the numbers work for the D'Hondt system. So if you're still doing this and thinking SNP 1 and 2 will be great if the percentages are the same, it's either ignorance or willful sabotage. You want to win? Then perhaps maybe you should take a step back, consider what's being said here, and then vote like you want to win, but to win for Scotland, not just for your party. SNP in the constituencies, pro-Indy on the list. That's it. That is the strategy. That's how you send the unionists packing out of Holyrood. You don't have to like the other party. You don't have to marry them. You just have to be mature enough to realise that the fight is bigger than your personal preferences. It is not cheating to vote strategically. It is not gaming the system. It is using the system they designed against them. They tried to use it themselves. They just couldn't get Labour and the Lib Dems to play ball. But don't kid yourself. They'll try again. And next time, they might get it right. So while we're still pretending this is a civil debate, this is a street fight, in reality, for control of our future. We are not fighting for good governance anymore. We are fighting for the ability to govern ourselves completely, autonomously, and forever. They played dirty in 2014. They buried the Macron report. They lied about the oil. They shut down our stock exchanges. They stole our wealth and they silenced the truth. Now they're trying to rig our elections with coordinated candidacies. And we're still sitting on our hands worried about whether it's fair to use both votes effectively. They're not playing fair, so we either play smart or we stay stuck. 2026 is not a referendum, but it can be a revolution if we make it one. They showed us their tactics, they showed us their fear. Now it's time to show them what happens when Scotland stops bickering and starts moving like a nation with a mission. We are not asking for permission anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to take the initiative.